mean, and let me tell you something. Coach Ettridge from the Ditch Dogs and the Mighty Modes, Coach Postel, y'all were awful. I mean, some of the worst coaching I have ever seen.
Very true. Live from the west side of Wilson County, this is SmackTalk.
Good time. Anytime you need a payment. Good time. Anytime you need a free. Good time.
Well, I want to welcome you to this week's edition of SmackTalk Live. I'm your host, Johnny Stardust. Let me tell you, let me first talk about old Coach Donnie. I'm telling you what, if you talk to Coach Donnie, he'll make you think that he was wise above his years to play Jason Campbell over Mr. Brady. Now, I kind of think that that's probably not all that true. I'd like to call it lucky, is what I'd like to call it, because believe me, Donnie ain't never had no wise intervention on his players. And so let me tell you something. Donnie is a one-hit wonder. When Mr. Brady's playing good, he's a good team, but don't expect this every week, Coach Donnie. You need to stay with your regulars or else you will be back in the gutter. Now, this week was so interesting in the fact that we saw a couple of big teams go down. In fact, one of them went down because of my smacker tease. And I predicted it. I knew it was coming. Coach Ettridge, you did an awful job at preparing your team. I'm telling you, we may see more of this to come. I predict Coach Ettridge going on a downward slide. And so get ready, because it's going to be so fun to watch Coach Ettridge and his big mouth go down. Coach Postel got hammered. Can I say that? Hammered this week by the Mean Machine. And I tell you what, the Mean Machine was right on. We could see it coming, the upset. And because of the Mean Machine's big victory, we now have a true cellar dweller in Coach Jimmy and the Swine Slammers. Let me just say one thing about the Swine Slammers. You are awful. I mean, awful. And I tell you what, I didn't realize how bad you actually are. I mean, I would absolutely throw that team out the door and start over. It is that bad. Now, let me say one more thing about the other team that was undefeated, Coach Kenny and that rebuilding year. Yeah, I think we're going to keep that name, rebuilding year. Coach Kenny, do you not realize that your team only scored 52 points? I mean, good gracious, we've had one player score more than 52 points. What were you thinking? That is absolutely the worst performance I have ever seen. Well, I have to take that back. Last year the Smackers did score 51, but they come away with a victory. Only highly qualified coaches can pull that off. This week, I tell you what, we're going to go outside the divisions. And let me tell you something. Right up here, you're going to see our totals of our division battles. And as you can see, the Central Division is absolutely incredible. They are 4 teams that are probably the tops in the whole league. And now, other divisions, y'all going to see what playing in the Central Division is all about. And I predict this week and from this week on, the Central Division will go undefeated in all other divisions. Folks, I'm glad y'all got to watch my Smacker Tees this week take on a victory. Get used to it. You're going to start to see them boys come alive. And so I want to finish up as we finish up here. I want to tell you, keep reading that fantasy football info, especially you Swine Slammers. You need to get 10 computers to find out what's going to go wrong with your team and see if you can't improve it, because I am so sick of watching your team. It is so bad. Stay tuned. Get ready for next week. I'll see you next time. And hey, let the smack flow.